everyone. Today is day 8 after the surgery. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update of how things are going since I left the hospital and started on the Puree diet. I have been really lucky with the pain side of it, even from the very beginning. As I've said before, it hasn't been too unbearable or anything that I haven't been able to cope with. So just basically some Panadol. Night time sometimes I take the stronger one, but that's more to help me sleep than anything else. But I can't say that I've had horrible pain or anything like that. I've been very fortunate. So in that respect, I'm really happy. I will show you down the track a photo of how my wounds are healing, and they're going really well as well. I never actually had stitches. They put some sort of sticky stuff on there which is going to fall off apparently. I just had to check every day, just make sure there was no weeping of the wounds or pus or anything like that, but that all seems to be going really well. So at the end of this I will flash up a photo, so if you're squirmish then don't look at it, probably best not to, but that's all going well as well. Now, what I did before I went into hospital just to prepare, I knew that I would have to have a Puree diet afterwards. So what I did is I just went to a cheap shop and I bought some of these little containers, because I was told that you probably wouldn't want more than a couple of teaspoonfuls. So I just sort of, pureed some lentils, some veggie soup, stuff like that, and just froze it in the ready, because I knew that I obviously wouldn't want to feel like cooking afterwards. Even though I've got my family to help me, I thought it'd be a good idea just to pre-prepare some of this stuff. Now, it is really important that when you're doing the puree that you try and get your protein levels that you need, so that's not always easy. So for example, when I did the vegetable soup, if I want to have that, if I want to get more protein into it, I actually, when I was in hospital, they gave me some tomato soup, and I noticed that they had this stuff in it which was called Benny Protein. So I looked it up. Chemist Warehouse didn't have it, but I did find it on Pharmacy Online, where I bought a few of the other things that I've been purchasing, and it actually has 6 grams of protein per serving, and it mixes instantly with hot food and not cold foods and beverages. So that's one way of making sure that you're getting that protein, because especially if you're not eating that much and you can't stomach it, it is really hard to get that. Well, they say 50 to 60 grams for me as a woman. I don't know about anyone else, but 45 grams at least of protein. So I've been sort of charting what I'm eating and trying to get that, but this is a good way. It cost me about $20, I think it was, and there's quite a few servings in there. So that's an idea if you need it. Now, what I've been doing, I noticed that in the morning, well, initially the first couple of days I did this puree thing, I was all over the place. I was confused. I really couldn't stomach much. I just was totally losing the plot about it. And what my dietitian did say to me is that it's okay just to stick to the OptiFast for the first few days if that's what you want, if that makes you feel better, and you can split that into 2 100ml portions to drink. So I've kind of broken up my day a little bit doing that, and a little bit trying to get used to the puree foods. I'm a little bit calmer now on day 8, and I've sort of got into a routine, so I'm trying to stick to a routine as well, sort of eating at the same times. I'm having about 4 to 5 meals a day, and that, well, when I say meals, that includes maybe a couple of snacks. So for example, my day yesterday in the morning, I had 1 Wheat Bix just mixed in with skim milk, hot, so it's all creamy and you can sort of get it down. I do use my phone to time the 20 minutes so that I am doing, taking that time to eat the food. That's another thing that's doing my head in, is when you're sitting there with food in front of you, it's easy just to keep scooping and putting in your mouth, but they stress that you must eat over a minimum of 20 minutes to 30 minutes. So it is really hard to do unless you put the bowl down or put the spoon down or whatever it is you're eating with, or the way I'm doing it is literally every minute I then put something into my mouth, like a spoonful into my mouth. That's the way that I'm being able to control what I'm doing. Otherwise, you just want to keep spooning in and you just can't do that. Initially, I could probably only get, so say for example, that 1 Weet Bix, I did actually manage to get that down. But if it's something where they're saying half a cup, I was probably only getting, you know, if lucky, if I was eating a quarter of that. But as time's going on, I'm finding that depending on what it is I'm eating, I am actually able to keep it down. So for example, a snack might be cottage cheese. That's high in protein, so that's a really good one to have. I'm basically just having it plain, just squishing it up and eating it. And I'm really enjoying that, and that does go down really easily. Chicken, what I did actually is my husband bought me these tins here, and there are different flavours, but the one that I think I'm going to stick to is just the plain chicken, and it's just beautiful white chicken. And so then you can actually you know, blend it with whatever else you want, like just to give it that creaminess and flavour. So I'm using this a lot as a base because the chicken does seem to go down really well. I'm actually using this Mistral blender to blend everything. It's easy to clean, and you know, because it's not a lot of portion each time, it's just easy to use. So I'm finding this a really handy gadget to have. I actually did try some veal. That my family had some veal the other night, and we got some veal and some broccoli, I think it was, and squished it all up. I literally had 1 teaspoon and I could feel it going down, and it was like it just hurt so much, and I know that I can't have that, so I'm ditching that idea. So I'm sticking to tuna. I've squashed up tuna, fish, the chicken, as I said, just those sorts of lighter meats rather than veal or beef or anything like that. I also have since discovered that stringy stuff like celery and broccoli is not a good idea either, so I'm staying away from that. You can have the, you know, mashed potato, sweet potato, that sort of thing, but you shouldn't have a lot of that. It's only like a little bit that you should be having of that. But mixing it with some sort of protein, obviously, not just having it on its own, because it's not like high protein. Yogurt I'm finding really easy to have. Tried to get anything that's less or over 97% fat free, or less than 3 grams of fat per 100 grams, like natural yogurts. I have been getting, what I do is with the natural yogurt, I just get strawberries or something and I just munch it up with that blender thing. You can't have any pieces, so it has to be nice and smooth. So that's been good. And also I've been having Sustagen, which I had bought, the hospital one, which has got fibre in it, and sort of enjoying that as well, as a snack thing in between. I haven't had any egg yet. They're telling me in the notes that I shouldn't have any eggs for up to 2 weeks post-op. I'm hanging to have a scrambled egg, but I'm going to do as they say and hold off on that as well. So now, yesterday I was, you know, having my normal day of foods, and then towards the end of the night, I sort of, I'm still not understanding is I'm getting noises in my stomach, which apparently are not hunger, which I automatically equated to hunger, but apparently it's not. It's just things settling in your stomach, or I don't know the technical term or the medical term of it, but I've been told not to mistake that for hunger. So the water I'm still really struggling to have. I'm supposed to have about 2.5, this is 600ml bottles of this a day. What I've done is I've actually added some lemon cordial into that, and that seems to be the only way I can stomach the water. Again, you're supposed to sip it, you know, over time, and then you've got to stop eating half hour before, and then you can't have any more water until half hour after you've finished. So just trying to get that all together, it can become overwhelming, but you know, maybe just do yourself a little chart or something. That's what I sort of did, and I'm just sort of marking things down as I go so I can see how much protein, make sure I've taken all my medication, make sure I can calculate, you know, everything that I've had, and having everything that they've told me I should have. So last night I had, I made myself up a sustagen drink as my snack, and you make it up as 175 ml, but of course you don't have to drink it all. But I was just sitting there sipping, and before you know it, I had finished the whole thing. But it wasn't, I didn't have the full feeling, or that feeling that you get, that pain that you get when you're overdoing it. But then about maybe 10 minutes after I had it, I suddenly realised why they say, you know, not to eat quick or drink quick, and to stop when you feel that feeling, because I really suffered last night. I didn't know whether to vomit. I had this pain. I had a heavy feeling. I can't even explain how restless I was, and how uncomfortable I felt. So you know, if I can tell you anything out of this, is just slow down and only eat up until you're full, and then just stop. Listen to your body. So I've learned that lesson. Now I also just wanted to tell you something about something that I bought, which I thought was quite a good idea. I got this online. I think if you look up great ideas in nutrition, you'll be able to find the website that I got it at. So basically, there's a bowl, and this bowl has got measurements on it, so 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 of a cup, so on. So that I found a really handy little tool, so I can see just where I need to put the food that I can eat, but you know, obviously I don't eat it all if I don't want to, but it's a good measuring tool. And then also they've got this plate as well, and it's got like some, you know, words around it, position, drink, chew, nibble, that sort of thing. But then here it's got, that's how much protein you should have on your plate, that's the oil or low-fat sauce, that's your salad or free vegetables, and that's your carbs. So it's a really good way of measuring what you should be eating. This is, I guess, when you get to the stage of eating proper food, not the puree stuff. The puree comes more into this bowl at the moment. What I did do, you can actually buy it in ceramic, or you can buy the melamine. I had originally bought the ceramic because I thought, well, when I eat, I want to eat, you know, in a plate that makes me feel that I'm eating properly. The problem is that 2 days after I got it, I actually dropped the bowl and broke it. So I've ordered a melamine one instead, so I think I'm just going to stick to that. Now, what else you get for this is a little healthy snack Bible, the 2015, and it's got like all products and things in there, you know, from fruit, nuts, cereal, all that sort of thing. Good options, good choices that you can make, because I find it really hard when I go to the supermarket to know what products I should be buying. Even if it says 97% fat-free, most of them are full of sugar or whatever. So this is a really handy little guide. Also, another thing that they give you is this book, and it's called Portion Perfection for Bariatrics. And inside here, you know, there's all ideas, recipes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, just lots of ideas, you know, and just information about food in general. Now, I know we get, you know, information from our dietitian, but I just like to have this sort of reference thing at home as well. The other thing that it gives you is a 4-week weight loss menu plan. Now, the way this book is broken up, it's got for anyone who's had bariatric surgery, women's weight loss and men's weight loss. So as you open it up, it's got the different colours, and it just shows you, well, initially it's all about how to use the book and everything. So I'm just trying to find, here, okay. So depending on what colour you are, so I have to look for the that's weight loss for men, so that's the red. So I would have to look for the orange, and that's what would be relevant to me. So I just can't find it quite now, but it's quite a handy thing. I like things like this because it's got a 4-week weight loss menu plan. I like following structure, so this is a really good option for me, for something to follow and know that I'm doing it correctly. I bought the whole thing, including postage. I think it was about $118, something like that. But I think it was money well spent. So all in all, I'm doing really well. I haven't weighed myself yet or anything like that. The first couple of weeks is apparently not about weight loss. It's about just getting, healing and, learning to eat the smaller portions and all that sort of thing. So I've got a doctor's appointment next week, so we'll see how I go with that. I will also post at the end of this just a picture of what I look like before, and every month or so I'll sort of check in, let you know how I'm going, hopefully show you pictures of me losing weight and getting to the point of where I want to be. So thanks for listening, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm happy to help. I know that I needed help leading up to this, and I still sort of do. So anything you want to know, please feel free to ask me. Okay, good luck everyone.